Get up. It's Motivation Monday, and today we're going to talk about owning your box. Do you just want to go through life just like the game? We start with our car out of high school, our piece of junk car. We hop in it and we drive off towards a career, or we drive off towards college, or maybe towards a career and then to college. We go through, we stop, we get married. We go a little bit further, we have kids, we have our career, we pick out what our house is going to look like. We make money, we spend money, we make money, we spend money. Maybe we take a vacation when we finally get some time off if we haven't used it on our sick kids. We move through life, our kids graduate and move on to their own journeys. We slow down, we try and save more because retirement's coming, and after all that time, we finally end up in the parking lot at Shady Oaks and we stop for retirement for the last 10 years of our life. If you want to live the game of life, this episode's not for you. Today we're going to be talking about things like the universe, laws of entropy, labels, the boxes we put ourselves in, and how we're going to escape them. So here we go. The first thing we're going to talk about is the universe. It's amazing. It's expanding at a rate so fast, so chaotic, that from right now, if we took off in a rocket ship at the speed of light towards the next galaxy, we would never reach it. That's how big it is. Our rock, called planet Earth, spins through this universe at 67,000 miles an hour. We never occupy the same space in the universe for any point in time consecutively ever. And somehow we tell ourselves that there's order and that there's chaos. And how do we do it? We narrow our focus, we label things, and we tell ourselves that things are how they are, how they are. And if we can make sense of the world that way, it saves us brain space. It tells us that things will always be this way. Some great examples of this are people that experience failure over and over and over again, and they label it as failure. And they tell you that my failures, the things that have happened to me, are failures I've lost. They haven't learned. I haven't learned. And there's been times where those failures crush me, and I choose to fail instead of learn. Other ways that we label it is if we have success over and over and over again. We start to label the world as a good place, somewhere where success is unlimited and we feel infallible, like the world is ours for the taking. Other labels we put on ourselves: smart, dumb, fat, athletic, motivated, lazy. We've got time, we don't have time, right? These are things that we label ourselves as we grow, and we tell ourselves that we can't change. We figured out the world. We figured out our identity. And this is something that people always search for, and I think it's wrong. There's so many people that feel so lost. I don't know who I am. I don't understand what my identity is. I don't think any one person has an identity that stays with them for their entire lives. Growth is totally underappreciated. Looking back 5 years ago, tell me what you thought your life was going to look like in 5 years. How much you were going to change as a person. I bet you didn't think you were going to change as a person that much, but you were going to get to some pretty crazy places. And I'll tell you, it's probably exactly the opposite. You've probably not gotten as far, and you've changed so much more than you ever anticipated. And those are the kind of things that I think I've been able to see in my life, to know that I'm going to change more than I thought. I'm not growing as much as I should. And it's because of the labels that we've put on ourselves. There's some great examples of labels. Once we put a label on something, it sticks. Even if the universe and the chaos around us changes and the meaning of it changes, the words and the labels stay the same. Example number 1. Tennis shoes. Labeled as tennis shoes when they were first made, how many people tennis in these shoes? Tennis players? Weekend warriors who play tennis? Most people wear them for walking, jogging, running, athletics, just about anything else but tennis. Yet, they're called tennis shoes. They found a purpose greater than their label, right? Super fun. These are great examples, things that change over time. The telephone, when we say telephone, it doesn't mean telephone. It means an all-world computer that has access to anything on the planet Earth. We call it a telephone. And it's transcended into the most useful tool that fits in our pocket. It could launch a space shuttle, right? So when you label yourself, don't limit yourself to your labels. Don't tell yourself that this is all I can be. There's all kinds of people that I know that they have their job title and then everything else that they can do. And when they limit themselves down to their job title or their family title or their position within their social class, they tell themselves that that's who they are. And in a while, they'll start to believe it, and that's all they become. And their world shrinks down, and there is less chaos because less happens. And I'll tell you what, it's time to challenge yourself to break outside of that box. It's time for you to take the labels that you've put on other people. It's time for you to take the labels that you've put on yourself. It's time for you to take those official labels, Taylor Mulkey, RN, BSN, TNCC, ENPC, blah, 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 all the things that you put on your name, and set them aside and look outside of your labels, outside of your box, outside of your specialization, and challenge yourself to say, I'm going to make myself a new label because I'm changing. I've never experienced growth that was comfortable, and neither have you. And if you think you have, it's a lie. I've never looked back and said, oh, that was easy. I've really grown as a person and it just came to me naturally. It doesn't happen that way. You have to challenge yourself. You have to challenge your thoughts and ideas of the world. And this is a Monday and we're feeling this way. Quick advert. Coffee. So this is our challenge. I want you to get up. I want you to own your box every single day this week. And I want you to tell me how you're owning it. Are you owning your sad label? Are you owning your label that you put on yourself that you don't have time? Are you owning the label that you can't go back to school? Are you owning the label that you'll never get fit? What labels are you owning that you've put on yourself? I want you guys to share. I want you to comment. I want you to let me know what your journey is. I want to share it with other people. I'm going to be putting up some blogs this week that support this idea, and I'm going to tell you guys we're going to go on this journey together. So make sure to like, share, comment. Let's have other people own their box. And here's my challenge. Get up, own your box. It's Motivation Monday. Let's do this week. Thanks for listening. Let's go have a good week.